Have you ever looked in the mirror after a hair appointment and questioned whether this color makes you appear older? You are not alone. Today we're going to look at a question that I frequently receive from my clients over the age of 60. Which hair colors add years to our appearance and which produce the natural glow we all desire? Here's a fact that many hairdressers will not tell you. The hair color that succeeded in your 40s may be working against you today. I learned this the hard way when my own mother approached me after years of using the same box dye. One simple color tweak improved her looks, removing years without appearing overly effortful. In the following few minutes, I'll discuss the 3 most common aging hair color blunders that women make. Mistakes that even high-end hairdressers could make with your hair. But more significantly, I'll share the 3 most appealing color schemes that make women feel confident and radiant. This is not about pursuing young or following trends. It's about understanding how our coloration changes and working with it rather than against it. Whether you color at home or in a salon, you'll come away with practical knowledge to help you make informed decisions about your hair color journey. Before we go into specific hues, let's discuss what happens to our hair as we age. Understanding these shifts is essential for making informed color selections. First, our hair structure changes with time. By the age of 60, most of us have noticed a considerable decrease in the diameter of each hair strand. What was previously solid and sturdy becomes finer and more fragile. This is more than just having less hair, though that is also prevalent. It is about individual strands becoming more brittle. The most visible change, however, is graying. Gray hair occurs when our follicles create less melanin, the pigment responsible for hair color. Many people might not understand that gray hair has a different texture. It is typically coarser, more wiry, and more color-resistant. This is why a recipe that worked wonderfully 10 years ago may not produce the same results now. It is equally crucial to consider how our skin tone varies. Over time, our skin loses part of its natural warmth and thins out, revealing less fat underneath. This implies that the contrast between our hair and skin seems different, and colors that formerly worked brilliantly for us may now produce strong contrasts or completely wash us out. Consider how the 2 colors seem on the same person. The shade on the left, based on her coloring from 20 years ago, casts shadows and highlights small creases. The one on the right, chosen for her current skin tone, adds light to her face and blends well with her natural coloring. There is also a psychological component to consider. Our sense of what appears natural changes as we age. A 25-year-old with jet black hair may appear completely natural, but the same color can look severe and artificial on someone in their 60s or 70s, even if it was their natural color in childhood. What is the good news? Once you grasp the changes, you can use them strategically. The perfect hair color does more than just cover gray. It adds dimension, improves your complexion, and highlights your natural features. Remember that there is no single correct approach. Some people really embrace their silver. Others choose to keep the color closer to what they had in previous decades. What counts is that your pick gives you confidence and accentuates your inherent beauty today, not 20 years ago. So, let's get started and find out which hair colors may age you and which will leave everyone wondering what your secret is. Let's start with one of the most common color mistakes: complete jet black. Many women have worn heavy black hair color for decades, especially if they had naturally dark hair in their childhood. However, here's why this may no longer be serving you effectively. True black hair color produces what colorists term strong value contrast. Simply said, it creates a clear distinction between black hair and lighter skin. While this looks great on younger skin with more natural color and elasticity, it tends to create harsh shadows on mature skin, emphasizing fine lines, wrinkles, and any unevenness in skin tone. Check out these before and after photos. On the left, we observe thick black hair, which casts strong shadows around the eyes and mouth. Notice how it attracts your attention on the texture of the skin rather than the person's attractive features. The flat, one-dimensional color also appears unnatural, which might make you look older. Pay close attention to how the black forms a severe framing around the face. Our eyes naturally detect strong contrast as a symptom of aging because as we become older, we lose the softness and blending that characterizes youthful features. Now there are some exceptions. If you have a deep winter complexion and naturally strong contrast features, or if your cultural background is characterized by very dark hair into old age, black can still work. But the goal is to soften it. Rather than a flat, inky black from beginning to end, note how this softer black has slight dimension. There are scarcely any tone variations, which make it appear more natural and less severe. This might be dark espresso lowlights blended with a lighter black foundation to create dimension without overpowering highlights. If you've been wearing black hair for years and are devoted to your characteristic appearance, I don't recommend becoming blonde tomorrow. Instead, consider working with a colorist to gradually introduce softer tones, like as a deep chocolate brown or subtle midnight blue undertones, to add complexity while keeping your dark-haired individuality. Remember that the idea is not to change who you are, but to enhance your natural attractiveness as it develops. Solid black might be aging, but rich, complex dark colors can look gorgeous at any age. The second possibly aging color may surprise you. Platinum blonde with extremely ashy tones. Many women go for these cooler blondes, believing they will help cover gray, but they might have the opposite effect. While these extremely cool-toned blondes look great on the proper person, they can be especially problematic for aged skin. Here is why. As we age, our skin naturally loses warmth and rosiness. The yellow and red undertones that gave our skin vibrancy in youth gradually fade, leaving us with cooler, occasionally more sallow undertones. Consider this case. On the left, platinum blonde hair contrasts with mature skin. Notice how, rather than brightening the face, it washes away the complexion, leaving the skin pale and lifeless. The cool tone of the hair competes with rather than complements the skin's inherent undertones. Pay particular attention to the area surrounding the eyes and mouth. See how the sharp platinum casts shadows and draws attention to minute details. That's because extremely light, chilly tones reflect light differently than warmer hues, typically emphasizing texture rather than giving a soft, diffused look. Beyond the visual problems, platinum and ash blonde require extensive maintenance. These hues necessitate frequent touch-ups, usually every 3 to 4 weeks, because even a quarter inch of darker regrowth produces a dramatic, aged contrast. This not only increases the cost, but also requires further chemical processing on already delicate hair. The amount of lightening required to create these chilly tones can seriously damage hair integrity, especially in senior hair that is growing finer and more delicate. What was the result? Dry, brittle strands that break easily, and damaged hair always improves your entire appearance. If you have naturally fair complexion with cool, pink undertones and light eyes, ash blonde can still look great. The idea is to make sure it's not too light or too ashy for your specific coloring. If you've been a platinum or ash blonde for years, don't worry. You don't have to switch to brown overnight. In our next glow-enhancing color segment, I'll show you how adding just a bit of warmth to your blonde may keep that light, bright look you adore while being far more appealing to mature skin and considerably less detrimental to your hair's condition. Now, let's discuss the third significant color mistake that can age you. Brown that is flat and has been processed only once. This is probably the most prevalent issue I find, especially among ladies who have been dyeing their hair at home for years. What do I mean by flat, single-process brown? I'm referring to medium to dark brown colors applied uniformly from root to tip, resulting in a solid block of the same color throughout the hair. While this strategy appears sensible, after all, it efficiently conceals gray hairs. It can severely age you. Look at this example. On the left, hair is colored using a single-process medium brown. Notice how it produces what colorists refer to as the helmet effect, in which the hair seems almost like a solid shell with no variation or movement. This flat, uniform color does not exist in nature, especially in younger hair, which has nuanced tones. Pay attention to how this solid brown forms a severe framing around the face. Natural hair has dimension, even if it is only one hue. Lighter pieces where the sun shines, slightly darker tones below. Without this dimension, the flat hue produces an unnatural contrast with the skin, emphasizing fine lines and wrinkles. Many at-home color kits might worsen this issue because they are intended to provide consistent, full coverage. The end result is frequently a flat, sometimes dull finish that lacks the reflection and movement that make hair appear healthy and lively. Healthy, vibrant hair always looks more youthful than dull or artificial hair. Another concern with single-process brown is that many commercial brown dyes, both in salons and in home kits, have ashy or chilly undertones to assist offset red. While this works well for masking certain types of gray, these chilly browns can take away the warmth from your complexion, which is especially problematic as our skin gradually loses rosiness with age. Medium ash browns can be particularly difficult to work with, producing a murky look that does not complement the majority of older skin tones. Under certain lighting, these shades might seem greenish or grayish, giving the complexion a sallow or fatigued appearance. If you're currently utilizing a single-process brown, don't panic. The solution doesn't need a significant adjustment. In fact, some of the most youthful-looking color treatments for mature women are based on brown tones, but with intentional dimension added. Coming soon, I'll show you how tiny modifications to your brown base may transform your entire look without stepping outside of your comfort zone. Now, let's get to the interesting part, the hues that can really boost your natural brightness. First, dimensional brunettes with warmth. This procedure is frequently the ideal choice for women who have been using the flat, single-process brown we previously outlined. What makes dimensional brunettes so attractive? It's all about imitating what occurs in nature. Even young people do not have precisely consistent hair color. Natural hair contains subtle variations, lighter where the sun shines, deeper and beneath layers, and tones that suit your skin's undertones. Look at the transformation. On the left, we have the previously mentioned solid medium brown. On the right, we added subtle caramel highlights and deep chocolate lowlights to the same base color. Notice how the hair has instantly gained movement, depth, and vitality? Dimension is working its magic. Pay careful attention to how the warmer tones around the face, such as honey and caramel, reflect light into the skin, resulting in a natural illumination appearance. This gentle illumination is like having your own built-in ring light. It reduces the appearance of fine lines and draws attention to your eyes and smile, rather than the texture of your skin. Dimensional brunettes' appeal lies in their variety. If your original background was darker, try a deep espresso with faint mahogany undertones. If you're naturally medium brown, try a chocolate foundation with caramel accents. Warm chestnut with honey highlights can look great on lighter brown skin tones. The arrangement of these dimensional parts is critical. Strategic highlights across the face attractively frame your features, while subtle variances throughout add realistic depth. This is not about the obvious, stripy highlights. It's about a subtle, blended depth that appears intelligent and deliberate. When speaking with your colorist, use terms such as delicate dimension, gentle contrast, and face-framing warmth. Bring photographs that demonstrate the level of dimension you are comfortable with. Remember, you don't require extreme contrast. Even minor changes in tone can make a big difference. For those who color at home, consider upgrading to a system that allows for more dimension, such as highlighting kits created exclusively for mature hair. Investing in a somewhat more complicated process yields significant benefits in terms of how youthful and natural your color appears. Our second rejuvenating color option is what I call soft, buttery blondes. If blonde appeals to you but platinum or ash tones are too harsh, this gentler approach could be the answer. Instead of ice platinum or ashy tones, buttery blondes prefer golden, honey, and champagne undertones. These warmer varieties provide a subtle richness that enhances older skin in ways that cooler blondes cannot.
Check out this contrast.
On the left, we see the ash blonde we mentioned earlier. Notice how it stands out against the skin and emphasizes lines around the eyes and mouth. Now glance to the right. This is the same shade of blonde, but with golden undertones. See how it casts a lovely glow that appears to illuminate the face. That warmth reflects light in a far more appealing manner. Pay particular attention to the cheekbones and jawline. The warmer blonde gives the appearance of more lift and definition in certain regions, whilst the cooler blonde might make features appear to recede or flatten. That gentle warmth resembles the impression of wonderful natural light on the face. What makes buttery blondes so appealing is their versatility. For naturally fair hair, A creamy blonde with gentle honey lowlights adds stunning richness. If your natural hue is darker, try a butterscotch or caramel foundation with lighter golden highlights. These mixed variations appear intelligent and purposeful, never brassy or fake. Let's talk about how to keep these warm blondes, which is something that many ladies deal with. Unlike ashy blondes, which frequently require toning to counteract brassiness, these warmer blondes capitalize on your hair's natural inclination to warm up with time. That means less conflict with nature and less damage from repeated processing. I advocate using color-preserving shampoos created specifically for blonde hair, but avoid purple washes that are intended to erase warmth, which is what gives buttery blondes their enchantment. Instead, search for gold-enhancing or lighting cosmetics that preserve the gentle warmth. When dealing with your colorist, utilize phrases like golden blonde, honey highlights, or warm champagne. Avoid using adjectives like platinum, ash, or chilly in your description, and specify that you desire warmth around your face. This is where it makes the greatest difference in how attractive the color appears. For at-home color, seek for colors described with adjectives like golden, honey, or warm, and avoid those labeled ash or chilly. The correct warm blonde may completely transform your appearance, adding a young brightness that cold blondes simply cannot match. Our final glow-enhancing technique may surprise you: smart silver and gray mixing. This is not about accepting aging. Rather, it is about embracing the sophistication of silver in the most appealing way imaginable. The key word here is strategic. We're not talking about merely growing out your natural gray, while it is a valid option. Instead, this method employs color processes to accentuate your natural silver, adding dimension and shine while avoiding the uneven, patchy appearance that might develop during the graying process. Check out these transformations. On the left, we observe hair at an uncomfortable transition period, with some places gray and others keeping natural hue, resulting in a dull, uneven appearance. On the right, we've blended and enhanced these variants with clever color methods. Notice how the hair suddenly appears deliberate, sophisticated, and radiant? Consider how the mixed method produces a multidimensional silver that captures and reflects light. This radiance is quite appealing and youthful-looking. Notice how it brightens the face rather than depletes it of color? That's because well-maintained silver hair has a lovely reflected quality that highlights your features. There are a few techniques to strategic silver blending. For individuals just starting to gray, modest lowlights in their natural color combined with silvery highlights can give a stunning salt and pepper look. Adding platinum or silver highlights to your natural gray gives lovely dimension. Maintaining beautiful silver demands special care. Gray and silver hair tends to yellow or develop a brassy cast due to environmental influences. Using blue or purple shampoos once or twice a week keeps silver shiny and clean. Furthermore, glossing treatments every 4 to 6 weeks provide exceptional shine, which is constantly youthful. The primary difference between drab gray and bright silver is condition and luster. Check out this contrast. Same hue, but the hair on the right has been treated with shine-enhancing chemicals. The silver's lively and futuristic appearance is entirely dependent on its reflecting quality. Embracing your silver strategically can feel quite liberating. Many of my clients who have made this adjustment claim they now feel more authentic and secure than they have in years. Furthermore, the lower maintenance compared to full color coverage results in healthier hair and less time spent at the salon. When discussing this option with your colorist, use phrases like silver blending, dimensional gray, or enhanced natural. Bring images of the level of silver versus dark hair you desire, since this method can be tailored to your level of comfort with gray. Now that we've covered both aging and enhancing hair colors, let's talk about how to put this knowledge into action. Here's some practical advice to help you make the best decisions for your specific scenario. Finding an appropriate colorist is critical for mature hair. Find someone who specializes in color for ladies over 50. They will grasp the unique challenges and opportunities that aged hair presents. When you schedule a consultation, which should always be free or included in your service, be prepared with questions. Here are some crucial questions to ask during your appointment. How would you change this color to suit my skin tone? A professional colorist should instantly discuss your undertones and how other colors will enhance them. What dimensions would you propose for my face shape and features? They should talk about smart placement around your face, not simply all over color. How will we keep my hair healthy during the coloring process? This is critical. Damaged hair always seems aged, regardless of color. What kind of maintenance routine would be required? When displaying inspiration photographs, be honest about how much upkeep you're willing to commit to and carry these with you. Concentrate on women with comparable coloring and features, rather than celebrities or models who may have quite distinct natural qualities. Better yet, bring before and after images of genuine ladies in your age group. Understand the restrictions when coloring at home. Box dyes are designed for full coverage, which can result in the flat appearance we mentioned. Consider more advanced at-home choices, such as highlighting kits for mature hair or root touch-up treatments, which can let you go longer between salon appointments. Regardless of the color path you choose, proper maintenance is required. Invest in sulfate-free shampoos designed for color-treated hair. Use heat protectants before styling because mature colored hair is especially prone to heat damage. Weekly treatments with color-preserving masks will help to extend the life of your color while keeping your hair healthy and beautiful. Take a look at the difference that regular maintenance makes. Both of these women have the same hair color, but the one on the right uses specific products and treatment methods. Notice how much more vivid and healthy her hair looks? Healthy hair always seems younger than damaged hair, regardless of color. Remember, the most flattering hair color is one that gives you confidence. If keeping your characteristic shade provides you satisfaction, investigate ways to add subtle dimension rather than sacrificing it totally. Small changes, such as slightly warmer tones or more dimension around the face, can make a significant difference without forcing you to step outside of your comfort zone. Finally, plan seasonal meetings with your colorist. As the lighting varies throughout the year, you may need to make tiny tweaks to your color formula to retain the correct flattering tint. If you found these recommendations helpful, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Share it with anyone you believe will benefit from a boost in confidence and style, and leave a comment below. Until next time, remember that elegance comes from inside, and you are more than capable of exuding it every day. Stay gracious, confident, and, most importantly, be yourself.